Welcome to the MyBusiness Podcast, where we sit down with local businesses and we talk about who they are, where they come from, and what inspires them to be in business. G'day guys, I've got Ray Tekii here today from Our Driver VIP Transfers. How are you, legend?
Very good, very good. Thank you for having me.
Is this your first podcast?
It is, actually.
Excellent. So
Yes.
how you doing, all right? You comfortable?
Very good
We're all
and comfortable.
Comfy in the chair and comfy on
Trying
the
to be
mics?
relaxed.
Mate, just chill. It's all good. Nothing major, nothing major. So who are you?
Yeah, like you said, Our Driver VIP Transfers. We got
Now, who are
limousines. Who am I?
Yeah.
So, I'm a born and raised Kiwi.
Yep.
But my background is of Cook Island descent.
Okay.
Been living in Australia for the last 14 years.
14. So you're nearly a local.
Oh, I think I am a local.
Yeah.
When I go back, they kind of go, what is that sound you're making?
It's your
I try
accent,
and
bro.
and then I try and put them, what do you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, I've been here 14 years. Love the place.
Love the
I don't
place.
think I would actually go back to New Zealand.
No, it's an
it's a little
amazing
bit
place here
expensive.
on the Gold Coast, isn't it?
Definitely so. Definitely.
And
so.
what have you been doing during the 14 years? What's your background?
So background, I was in business back in New Zealand, came over here, raised my family of 4 kids, and I kind of just went into the workforce.
Mm-hmm.
While in the workforce, I kind of worked for Telstra, did a few things with Bartercard as well. Did a stint with the New Zealand Earthquake Commission as well when there was that massive earthquake in Christchurch with the Christchurch earthquakes, and they did a lot of the stuff, the final payments and everything from in Australia. So I kind of helped out on that project.
Awesome.
And yeah, here I am.
So now you own your own business again.
Yes,
So back in business.
back in business.
What's the business?
So we do airport transfer. We do VIP transfers. So your limousines, catering for weddings through to birthday parties, hands and bucks, and yeah.
So obviously
we
to
have
do
fun.
this, you must need cars.
Yeah, we definitely have cars.
What cars
so
have
we've
you got?
So we're working with a Super Stretch F250.
Mm-hmm.
We are also
How many is that seat?
that seats 12. Then we've got
Comfortably or am I squished?
no comfortably
Yeah,
14 squished.
Okay.
But then again, I mean, I say 12 if we've got the Polynesians, my
It might
brothers
be
and
about
sisters
6 or
there.
7.
10 max.
That's fair
10
enough too.
max.
That's fair enough.
And then we've got the XL Hummer, which seats 20.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a party minibus, which has just joined the fleet as well. And that seats, 13, but I've just done some adjustments to the actual car. So now it's kind of more like a 12-seater. Like
Okay.
whoever's got the front passenger seat,
Yep.
they kind of miss out on the party. So I just
yeah.
want to say,
Take
like,
that out of
yeah,
there.
exactly. I just want to say 12 now.
So I'm on a party bus. Can I party? What's the rules?
Yes, you can party. You can definitely party. BYO, we do, we allow people to bring their own alcohol in there or their own beverages. And yeah, we just take a slow cruise. Normally it's about an hour cruise to whatever event or, occasion that got going on. And
So this time of year must be busy with all of the graduations.
well,
and
we just
formals.
finished the year 12 formals last week.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just every single day. But in saying that, with COVID that came through, a lot of schools kind of moved their formals around for the whole year. So it actually went throughout the whole year. But in saying that, I mean, the whole, last week was basically the main week for majority of the schools. And
Of the formals.
Yeah, of the formals, but it was massive.
So how did this happen? How did you get into this business?
Well, I've had an interest in business. I happened to go through Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
And was just looking through there, come across a Hummer that was for sale, kind of reached out to the guys on Facebook Marketplace, and one thing led to another, and here I am.
And that's how it started.
And that's how it started. But I'd never actually, what's crazy is when I was young, through school days and stuff, like everyone's, when you get your first car and thing and you're driving your friends around. Well, my first car was a van.
Yeah.
So I was actually already at that age carting people around, you know. And
in a good sense.
In a good sense,
we're not
yeah.
talking gaffer tape or anything like that sort of stuff. That's in a good sense, yeah. Well, carting people. All my friends are getting in my van. That's
exactly.
That's where we're going, yeah, of course.
But, you know, and then as I was growing up, I was kind of like the sober driver majority of the time as well. And so when I've picked up this business, and I first started when I bought it, right, it was I just wanted a business. I wanted something that could help me generate, you know, additional income and stuff. And I had a driver. Well, that driver ended up leaving, and I was like, okay, well, now it's my turn to step in. Didn't know what I was going to expect, but man, it was the best thing that ever happened, really.
That's amazing.
I'm that type of person, I guess, when you got that personality and you just want to see people have fun and you want to be amongst it as well. It kind of makes that difference for people. So
yeah. I ring in a book and this, we see this big car pulls up the road.
Yep.
Yeah. You're in a suit, or what are we rocking?
It depends on the situation.
Yeah,
like, you know,
cool.
so if we're doing weddings, yeah, I will rock up in a suit. You know, collared tie and everything like that. If it's like a birthday party, I may have like something without
bit
the
of
actual
party vibes going on.
Yeah, you kind of dress to the occasion. You know,
okay,
so
cool.
just to keep it. You know, I for me personally, it's like however I dress is how I'm gonna be. So if I've got the tie, then I'm gonna be a lot more professional. If it's just a non-collared top with a suit jacket on, it's a little bit more casual, but still keeping that, you know.
Still keeping the professionalism there.
Yeah, exactly.
So if it's a hen's night, what are you wearing?
Mate, if I had abs, it would be like just topless.
Just a G-string, but I don't have abs, so I'm back in the suit. Yeah. Is that what we're doing?
It's look sharp.
Look sharp. I love that. So what do you hate about the industry? Is there anything that really frustrates you about this industry?
Not really. I mean, probably one of there's competitors, but see, I've learned quite a bit over the time that I've been in the actual industry itself, is that when you connect with the other drivers, because there's always a flow of bookings that come through, sometimes you can't actually like manage it, right? Or you can't handle it. So you got to pass it on to someone else.
Cool.
So I'm working with a couple of other guys that are in the industry, and we just share. So if I can't handle it, then I'll pass it on to them. If they can't handle it, then they'll pass it on to me. So we kind of work in that whole, you know, we're just networking. It's good. I enjoy that. And I guess the frustrating part is when traffic hits, and then all of a sudden
you can't do anything.
And then all of a sudden you're running behind in time.
Yeah.
And that's it. Apart from that, it's enjoyable. You know,
So what do you love about it?
The people that actually get to experience our driver.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, and you just the vibes that people bring. I mean, most people that get a limo or anything where they can party in,
you know that they're a happy occasion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you know that it's just going to be straight off the bat, good vibes and everything. I mean, I try and limit how many return trips I do.
Yeah.
You know, depending on what the occasion is. If they're going to a restaurant and, you know, there's the older people with the younger people, then I know that it's going to be pretty civilized.
So I'm pretty good.
Yeah, they're going to get back in the car. It's going to be fine. But if they're youngsters and they're going to like a music festival, I'm kind of like, yeah, we're booked out.
Yeah, so here's Uber's number.
Yeah, exactly. Got the app.
Well, here's my mate I give these jobs to. I mean, I love how there's a lot of love in the air, right, with this stuff. And the thing is, as you say, people only book limos usually when they're going to a good occasion. Obviously, there's sad occasions as well. So in those occasions, like whether it's funerals or those sort of things where people want to have large, well, probably the bus and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Is that difficult to deal with, or how do you go there?
Not really. I've done a couple of those where someone's, you know, kind of utilised us to just move the people from point A to point B during the funeral, and I guess you just kind of fit in with the people and understand where they are at. You know, there's a mourning process that they're going through. Grieving process, so you kind of just support them while they're getting in the car and just make sure that they have fun while they're actually in the car going from point A to point B and stuff, you know. And that just makes a bit of a difference if you're that type of person where you can at least bring a little bit of joy while they're actually with you at that time, then, you know, they have that experience. It's something that they can remember on that day as well. And, you know, hopefully from there, when they've got a better occasion coming up.
They'll reuse you guys.
Exactly.
Our Driver, it's a great name.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd the name come from?
So I'm actually going to tap into another business here. So there's a barber place called Our Family Barber.
Yep.
All right. And I just like the way that rolls off the end of the tongue.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're talking to someone and, you know, people are like, oh, where'd you get your haircut done? You know, a lot of people will say, oh, Our Family Barber. And I actually said it to someone before, was a friend of ours that was asking, oh, where do your kids get their haircut? I said, oh, Our Family Barber. And they were like, you got a family barber?
Of course I have.
And I was like, I didn't actually hear it, but that it stuck in my mind, and I was like, it actually rolls that people actually think, oh, you got a family barber. So when it's Our Driver, when someone says you got to call Our Driver, you know, automatically someone that has never heard that, they'll be like, you got a driver?
I love that.
So that's how that whole thing, you know, came about.
So what's the best ever story? There's got to be one or two at least of the best stories.
I've come across a few. There's so many stories, but the best ever story.
The interesting thing about this, right? What I think would be an amazing idea, and this is obviously podcasting, and would be for you to do a podcast of all the stories. The stories, then the people want to hear this stuff because everyone always thinks, oh, what happens in the back of a limo? All right,
stays in the back of the limo.
I love that. Obviously, it can be, obviously, it can sort of be no names or any of that sort of stuff. But people are intrigued by what happens in different businesses and what happens in this stuff. So, what's your best ever story you can share with us?
Look, probably a few weeks ago, I took a crew to a music festival. And at the end of the music festival, we were cruising back, and they wanted to do a little bit of karaoke. So we basically hooked the whole setup up. Had the mic in the back, and it was just bad singing all the way. But you know, to the point where they enjoyed it that much that they wanted to have another 10 minutes just outside the house.
Oh, just to continue the
Just karaoke. To continue, you know. And they were like, I just got to do one more song. And it was just like, well, let's just sit here and we'll just let it happen.
Yeah, why not?
You know, so things like that. But there's a lot. There's a lot that happens.
Have you taken any superstars in your limos or?
Yes, I've had a few in there. We've had like boxing, like a lot of sports people.
Yep.
They'll utilize it. I guess even business people. I've had the richest person in Australia actually be part of, you know.
And was she nice?
Yes, very nice. Oh, very nice. Very nice. And it's funny, I just saw a photo of her not long ago in she was in a red carpet event. And I looked at it and I was like, and there goes that laptop. It seems like she doesn't go anywhere else without. It wasn't a laptop. I think it was just a massive iPad.
Yeah.
But even when she was in the
on
car
the red
with
carpet.
us, yeah,
really?
She still had it. And I was like, she just doesn't stop.
No. And that's probably why she's one of the richest people in the world.
Yeah.
So do people like that inspire you? Because as a businessman, do you find that other business people inspire you to?
Oh, definitely.
To do bigger, to do better?
Definitely. You know, when you're talking to other business people as well, and, you know, they ask you, is this yours? And you kind of say yes. There's like a sense of that connection where you just start talking about each other.
To me, it's like the little salute.
Yeah,
you're one of us.
Yeah,
we can talk differently, not just a driver.
Yeah, not just a driver.
And nothing against drivers, obviously.
No, that's right.
But yeah, it just gives you that little bit of kudos.
But I've had that experience as well where someone's treated me like the actual driver, and they're like, oh, your boss, and because you know how I was just saying that we share jobs, right? So they've obviously booked through their main person, but then the main person's like passed it on to me. And so they're like, your boss isn't your boss. And I guess ego kind of got me a little bit. You know, I'm like, I don't have a boss, buddy.
I am the boss.
And then, from that point as well, he actually was like, and the whole thing changed.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it was. And I was just like, and I even told the guy after, I was like, man, he was bossing, the boss and the boss and the boss. And I was like, I couldn't handle it. I was like, I got to just kind of say, no, I'm a boss as well. And it was good though. Like, the whole, that whole energy or the whole communication just shifted, and there was that sense of respect kind of thing, which was cool.
And you should also respect drivers that don't own their own cars.
Oh,
very important.
I'm at that stage now where I need drivers and things, so I know how important they are to actually have in your business, and finding good ones that will actually stay by you all the way through. They're rare to find.
So that means if we see a driver in our driver that's been hard to find, they're good at what they do, and they know how to handle themselves.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what you want.
Exactly. So what marketing do you do at the moment? How do you get business?
So a lot of our stuff is done through Google.
Okay. AdWords?
Yeah, AdWords. And I've just recently started doing a lot more in the social media. I've got my son who's doing our marketing, our social media marketing at the moment. And that's now starting to get a bit of traction as well. But when you're looking at hiring a limo or anything like that, majority of the time you're going to go into Google and you're going to search up, The
majority of your life you go into Google, don't you?
Well, someone said to me, if it's under $100, they're actually going to go through social media and actually see if they can find it through there. If it's over $100, then they'll just go straight to Google and actually look through Google. And I was like, I can picture that, because if I'm looking for something cheap, I'm like Facebook Marketplace first, and then you just kind of look to see what's in there. But anything more, specific, then you're basically Googling it. So
now you're an official podcaster. You're going to have great social media content that you can actually put out there, video, audio.
Oh, I'm looking forward to how the final cut comes.
Well, mate, I really appreciate you coming in to see me. I appreciate you jumping on the podcast today. How do people contact Our Driver?
Through the website, ourdriver.com.au, or via mobile phone. But as you go through...
What's your socials?
Our socials is Our Driver VIP Transfers, and that is on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And I've just started putting through... there's one thing that I am actually doing at the moment, and I think it's pretty cool. So what I've started doing is dropping the red carpet. So when we pick you up, we put the red carpet
roll
down.
Out the carpet.
When we drop you off, we roll out the red carpet. And the whole thing is around just that experience. And I'm asking if we can video it for our socials and things. And if you go onto TikTok or you go onto Instagram, you'll start to see some of the things that we're actually putting together with that.
And what sort of hashtags are you using for that?
Hashtag red carpet, hashtag limo experience, hashtag, what else have I done? Stretch rides, hashtag in style. It's
a great way to do it, and it also a lot of the stuff you do is over the phone. What's the phone number people can contact you?
0497 315 353.
And that's for Our Driver.
VIP Transfers.
VIP Transfers. Thanks so much for your time today, mate.
No problem. So
that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Listening to the My Business Podcast, brought to you by Media 8 on the Podfire platform. If you want to be on our podcast, please reach out to the team on all our socials at mybusiness.pod.